Hello, fire signs. Welcome to your May monthly forecast reading. So there'll be a separate reading for each sign: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It is a general reading, so just take whatever resonates. It doesn't matter where they are in your chart: sun, moon, Venus, rising. As long as you resonate with the energies of that sign, then I would recommend watching it. So thank you for clicking on this video. If you want to go down below, I'll have the timestamps listed there in the description box and in the comments. And I will see you in your reading. Hey Aries, welcome to your reading for the month of May. So again, I just want to say this is a general reading. So just take the messages that apply to you, that resonate with you, and just leave the rest behind because it might not all resonate. Again, Aries, sun, moon, rising, Venus, or if you just resonate with the energy of Aries, doesn't really matter. So we've got like sort of a tarot overview of the month, and then a couple cards from the romance angels for love, and then a few cards of guidance. So I'm gonna get started with the tarot. So we have here, two cards came out for your sort of the theme of the month for you. And they came out like one on top of the other like this. So we have the 8 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. And this coupled with the bottom of the deck here, we have the Moon, which is clouding, the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, which is mental clarity. And that makes a lot of sense. So this is a month where you're sort of in the dark, like not, your path isn't as illuminated as you would typically like it to be. Like I think you very much like to know where you're going. You like to know the steps that you need to take so you can just kind of like barrel through it, but that's not the energy of this month. This is a very like healing kind of month. So you're sort of in this self-imposed state of anxiety, that because you're unsure of what the next steps are, you're unsure where you're headed. So you're feeling that very, it's very mental. It's like a mental fog. There's a real mental fog that's kind of keeping you from this 10 of Pentacles, which is there for you. It's there, it exists. That is your material world, but you can't really see it because of this mental fog that's kind of clouding it. And that's sort of the theme of your month here. But this can all be cleared by, well, there's no real structure to this, right, to this reading. This sort of mental fog here can be cleared. Like you have the power to clear it. All you have to do is, as this card is, dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Just don't get caught up in this, repeating the same patterns, the same steps, and the same things that you do, especially now we're in this period of sort of self-isolation where it's really incumbent upon you to take the steps to change your life. Be devoted to yourself, which Aries, you are good at that. I have never met an Aries that is not devoted to themselves in one way or another, right? Like I'm not saying you can't dislike yourself in certain ways, but you still care a lot for yourself. And I think that's great. And that's really what you need to do, is care enough about yourself to change these patterns and to do something different, to shake up this sort of mental fog that you have going on here. Which leads us into the first week of the month, which would be this current week that we're in right now. We have the 2 of Pentacles over top of the 4 of Wands. So there is this feeling of imbalance sort of clouding your stability in terms of, it could be in terms of a relationship or just in terms of like your family life or friendships, significant connections in your life, and like committed, devoted connections in your life. There's a real sense of imbalance with them in the physical world currently, which I think is partly what is causing this moon energy of like not knowing where things are headed, not knowing what's going on in these connections, and it's creating this sense of anxiety and this sense of real mental fogginess, right? And then into the second week here, we have the 5 of Cups. So I feel like whatever is happening here with this 4 of Wands, this instability in the 4 of Wands in your life, the 4 of Wands being like the committed connection, whatever instability there is putting you into this feeling of the Five of Cups, and it feels very much like you are sort of down on yourself for maybe not taking certain actions or not doing things differently than you could have done. And this is all currently to like the energy of right now. So you have the ability to change this sort of like outcome here, to change these cards around if you just start kind of making different decisions. That's really what this reading is all about, is like you have the power, Aries. You have the power to pull yourself out of this mental fog. You're not a victim to it. You're never the victim, right? It's not, there's circumstances, yes, but you have the power to alter your circumstances through your thinking, through your actions. And then you won't really be in this Five of Cups energy, because it's kind of like a crying over spilled milk kind of energy. And then in the third week of May, we go into the Four of Swords, which you're just kind of resting. You're just kind of resting after this. You're taking it easy, you're healing, taking a step back and sort of regaining perspective over it, which is really good because it doesn't end up bad. Like the month overall is not, it's just kind of a bit stagnant, unless you do take these steps to really change your energy, which you don't have to. This is a very strong month of just healing all around for like everybody. So lean into that sort of healing aspect of it and take the time to rest when you need it, especially in this third week here. Really take time to yourself, to devote to yourself and to your own growth, to yourself. Invest in like self-care and stuff, all that kind of stuff, even if it's just like face masks and things. Like it doesn't have to be hardcore like self-care. It could just be like, yeah, I'm gonna take an hour to myself and like have a bath, paint my toenails, something like that. I don't know. Whatever you feel is very nourishing and restful to you, and like restful on a mental and like a soul level. Take the steps to do that. Take the time to do that for yourself. It'll really pull you out of this Five of Cups energy and put you back into this state of being like the Hierophant, which is a very grounded energy to be in, which is a good change out of this Eight of Swords, this mental fogginess. It brings you more into this sort of Pentacles kind of vibe, because the Hierophant, I think, is a Taurus card. I'm pretty sure it's Taurus. But either way, it's a very like grounded, earthy sort of energy, but also very spiritual at the same time. So it is a card of very deep like devotion to yourself, to your path, and that's good. That's where you want to end up here, because that's what you need to be doing to clear up this sort of like moon energy and regain this mental clarity and get back to your Ten of Pentacles. And then for the love landscapes we have here for you for this month, we have finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, and calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations bring you together. Yeah. So I think this period of rest is very much needed to strengthen these sort of manifestations for yourself, to get you back into this place of the Ten of Pentacles so you can feel secure enough to have somebody else in your life. It doesn't feel like a very strong feeling of like love isn't a huge focus for you this month. I think it's more so like self-love, and self-love is the path to like love outside of the self as well, like as within, so without, that kind of a thing. So I think that that's a really good place to sort of pull your focus, is to self-love, and then that will lead into, because if love is something that is not in your life right now, like you're not in a relationship, maybe you've been single for a little bit, taking these sorts of steps to really alter your own energy, to pull yourself out of this, to be very independent, is what kind of magnetizes you to a partner. And the finances and career, I feel like this is just kind of like a focus for you. I also get the message, I got this at the beginning, as soon as I pulled this card, was maybe you've sort of in the past dated people who, say, aren't very financially stable, and this might only resonate for one or two people, but So you've had sort of a string of relationships with people who aren't very financially independent, and you're kind of sick of that. You're pretty over it. You kind of want to be with somebody who has their shit together. They've got money in the bank. They've got a wallet that's padded. They are able to take care of themselves and also treat you like you deserve to be treated, and you're not constantly taking care of somebody else, because then that pulls focus away from yourself as well and how much you can lean into your own independence, which is huge for your Aries. So I think that that's kind of what you're calling in right now, as well, as far as a soulmate, is somebody who is financially independent, somebody who has their shit together. And that's good. But it takes this sort of like focus on the self to really do that, and to not give in to people who continue to repeat that pattern that you found yourself to be in, as far as dating people who aren't really at your level, right? So you have to recognize what level you're at to be able to call those people in. Yeah. So I think that's a big part of it as well. For at least a couple people, that's a message. Hopefully that resonated with you. Honestly, it's a fairly straightforward reading for you this month. So I think the real big theme is just, you have the power to pull yourself out of this mental fog. You don't have to be stuck in that stagnancy. Just allow yourself to do it. Allow yourself to take time for yourself. Indulge. It's Taurus season, so you can indulge. It's fine. You don't have to be constantly doing. Sometimes you can just rest, and sometimes that is best. So I hope that resonated for you. Thank you so much for watching. If it did resonate, I would love to know. Let me know down in the comments, and hopefully I will see you around. Bye. Hi, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the month of May. So again, I just want to say that this is a general reading, so not everything, well, there's a chance that not everything will resonate with you. If it does, that's awesome. But if not, just take what does resonate and leave the rest behind, because it's for somebody, but maybe not for you. Anyway, I'm just gonna get into it. So May is like a huge month for you, like energetically. It's just big. There's a lot going on, and I feel like there's been a lot going on for you for a while. I feel like you're kind of like, yeah, it's old news, right? Like you've been in a period of like ascension and transformation for a while now, and this is just kind of like continuing it with a little sprinkle of some other stuff, right? And especially this is in regards to your love life. There's a lot of themes of love here. We have not only the soulmate card, but there is also the Lovers, Ace of Cups. Like, it's big loving energy, right? So the theme of the month, although it's kind of a weird message with it, I think, is the Tower, is the first card that I pulled out for you, as sort of like the overall of the month. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords. So this is kind of, but because of everything that's going on up here, that's kind of where I'm getting the message of, like, you've kind of been in this Tower moment for a while now, it feels. And I think you're kind of starting to come out of it. So it feels like this is kind of a wrapping up of this Tower cycle. If that's not the case, then it might be what is coming up for you. But I feel for most Leos, that is what it is this kind of wrapping up this Tower moment. And I say this because of the Six of Wands here in our first placement. The Six of Wands is a very victorious kind of card. Like, you feel galvanized, you feel like this has really sort of toughened you up, I guess, in a sense. Like, spiritually it's toughened you up. You feel sort of ready for whatever is to come. You're like, yeah, so what else are you gonna give me, universe? Like, I've done all this, I've gone through all of this, and I came out fine. I'm doing even better, so what now? Right? Like, you're ready to celebrate, but also ready to go back to battle, right? You feel like you're kind of ready for whatever's to come. And then that theme continues into the second week of May. We have the Strength card. So you're just feeling very strong. You're feeling very empowered. Empowered is the word I was looking for. yeah, you feel like this tower moment has really empowered you. Like, sure, it was probably hard to go through and it gave you a lot of this sort of like anxiety and stuff, as it does, because the Two of Swords, like, you can't see anything. You don't know where you're going with it, but you know it's something big that's going on around you. But it's really empowered you, which is amazing. You've taken it and you've ran with it, and now it's bringing you out of this tower and into something so beautiful. The third week here we have the Lovers, which I'm getting for most people specifically means like a love relationship, and like quite a deep one as well. Some kind of divine soul connection. Label it what you will, it doesn't really matter. Whatever resonates with you best, soulmate, twin flame, karmic partner, doesn't matter. Just somebody that you share a very deep connection with. If that is not the case and it's not love, then it really refers to a deeper connection with the self, because the Lovers is also, in addition to being like, it's like the Gemini card, because Gemini is all about duality. That's kind of what this speaks to as well. It's like a duality in self, like you've found that sort of trifecta, the connection with the self, with the ego, with everything is in harmony with the divine source. Like, it's gone from opposing dualities to a real like harmonious balance sort of like, I don't know, thing. Like a triad of harmony, right? But I'm getting for most people it is like an actual love relationship, because we have the soulmate card here, which is quite blatant, like, yes, this is your soulmate, stop doubting it. Right? And I think that's what the, like, you kind of come out of that space of doubt now. You know, like, you've known for a while, but it's easy to sort of be like, wow, but is it though? It is. It's true. It's real. Just enjoy it. And it's really coming together here in the third week of May. And then leading into the Ace of Cups. So I feel like maybe there's a chance that something had happened with your connection previously where it wasn't going so good. Like, maybe you haven't been together with this person, or you maybe haven't even met this person yet. Maybe you could be meeting them in the third week of May here, or you were in a period of separation or something, as often happens with divine connections. And then it's coming, because this is like a renewal, this is like a new, refreshed sort of love. So it's entering a new cycle. And if you have been with this person, then it is a rejuvenation of the relationship. It's sort of like coming back into a state of like the honeymoon sort of energies, which the other card we got here, Retreat, that gives me sort of a honeymoon vibe as well. I know there's like an actual honeymoon card in this deck, but the Retreat card also sort of gives me that energy, because it's very much about like spending one-on-one time with somebody, spending time disconnected from other people with this person. So like, you've needed time with just them, just having a conversation, or just spending time in each other's energy. And now that you're both sort of renewed and reinvigorated, and you feel this sense of empowerment, and you feel this new fun shiny love that's come in here. And if it is a new person that you're meeting, this is a significant connection for you, and you're probably going to feel that like as soon as you meet them. So don't overthink it, just go with it, because it's right. Whatever your instinct is telling you is correct, so just go with it. And then for your advice for the month, we have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives, which very much connects here to the Tower energy, because that's what the Tower is all about, is releasing patterns, releasing old energy and stuff. Your foundation has been shaken up, and all of this stuff is like drifting out. So there will probably be periods in the month where these things come back up to you, and you start to feel like, sorry, my oven just made a weird noise. You start to feel that sort of like this old familiar anxiety again. But because you're in such a state of empowerment, really lean into that, because and think to yourself, like, is this something new that's triggering me, or is this the same old pattern just kind of coming back up? And if it is kind of an old pattern, just like breathe and release it, because it's just habitual, right? You don't need to feel it anymore. It's healing. So you'll kind of feel the effects of it a little bit, but it's healing. So just allow it to heal. And then we have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. And that's sort of the after effects of this whole releasing old things. You now have space for more light. You have space to raise up into a higher vibration. And this is a very high vibration kind of connection. So by doing this, by releasing all these old patterns, all this old stuff, you have made room for this. Whether it's a new connection or an old connection, you've made room for this new energy into it, because you can't stay in a stagnant connection forever. Even people who have been together for 60 plus years, it's gone through ebbs and flows, right? Cycles. They've changed as people and they've come back together because that's just how it is, right? At least for people who are like still in love after 60 plus years, right? Because not everybody is. So yeah, it's a pretty like awesome month, I would say, for you. Like it feels like you've kind of been through the worst of it already, and you're really coming out the other side like new and improved, like Leo 2.0. It's your time to shine, Leo. I mean, it's kind of always your time to shine, but and I say this as a Leo, Venus, Mars. So I feel, yeah. But I'm really happy for you. I think this is awesome. So really, if you are single right now, keep an eye out for somebody coming in, but it's going to be somebody who really matches your energy, really matches your vibration. So don't allow anybody in who doesn't do that, who isn't kind of on your level, right? I hope that that resonated with you. That was a really fun reading to do because it was just so happy, right? It's such a good reading, even with this scary tower energy here. So I hope that that resonated. If it did, I would love if you'd let me know. I would really like to hear it. And hopefully I will see you around. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your May monthly forecast reading. So we have some tarot cards here as sort of like an overview of the month, then some lovers or romance angels cards for sort of like the love landscapes, and some advice here from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. And again, this is a general reading, so it might not all resonate. Just take whatever does, leave whatever doesn't, and roll with it. Okay. So the first thing I want to say is there's a lot of pentacles in this reading. So the Ace of Pentacles in the overall sort of like theme for the month, and the Six of Pentacles to kind of start the month off with. And then we also have the Four of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck on top of, whoa, on top of the Wheel of Fortune, and then underneath the Wheel of Fortune was the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like finances are definitely a big aspect of this month. I don't know if they're really going to be like a conscious sort of focus, but like with the Wheel of Fortune being under the Four of Pentacles here, I feel like luck is really sort of like turning in your favor in regards to finances. The universe is bringing in a lot of financial opportunity for you, and career opportunities, and just like material opportunities, and it's because your vibration is heightening. You've worked a lot on like being in the flow, heightening your vibration, and I feel like Sag is pretty good at, like, it's a fairly lucky sign generally, just because I think most fire signs are, just because they live a bit more in the moment. But so that energy is really bringing in this month of like opportunity for you. Like there's a lot of material opportunities here, and one of those opportunities is sort of like a romantically linked one as well. We'll get into that a bit in a bit here, but yeah, so lots of financial opportunities here for you, which is really good. And you start off the month feeling that. It's the Six of Pentacles. So you feel, you know that these financial opportunities are here for you. You've been sort of holding on to your coin because you haven't been able to like spend too much in the recent past here with all like this isolation stuff going on. So you're feeling very generous. Like you feel like you have all of these finances available for you, and you're feeling like, yeah, I would love to share this with everybody. I'd love to balance this out with people that I love, people in my life, friends, family, all that. You might also be spending some of it on travel in the near future if you're able to. If not, this is just talking about like sort of a cycle of financial hardship sort of ending. In the second week here, we have the World, which is, yeah, huge travel energy if that's something that you're able to do currently, if that resonates with you. If not, it's just a real heightened perspective. The World is the end of a cycle, the end of a major cycle. So because finances and career is such a heavy focus or a heavy theme of this reading, I feel like your sort of financial woes and stuff are like over. Like you don't really have to worry about it anymore. And then it kind of bookmarks here, and then we move straight into Cups. Like it goes from all Pentacles, and then the World ends that, and it's like, okay, now it's time to focus on something else. Your finances are in order now. You enjoy it because it's never gonna like, you're fine. You're doing good financially, career-wise. All of this seems to be in order, so now you feel sort of free and able to think about other things in your life, to focus on other things in your life, to shift your focus, right? And then in the third week of May, we have the Knight of Cups, which I feel like, okay, it's one of two situations here. Either you are extending an offer of love to somebody, or they are extending an offer of love to you. And it is somebody who has been sort of in love with you for a while. Either that, or you have been in love with them for a while, but haven't really come forward with any sort of offer before, because you weren't really sure about it, or they weren't really sure if this is really sort of like, if it was real, if there was anything there to kind of like go for, if there was anything there to explore, if there were any real feelings there to explore, or if it was just sort of like infatuation, I guess. But these feelings are real. We got romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring, on top of the unrequited love card, which is just talking about somebody who, yeah, has been watching you for a while, has been sort of in love with you for a while, but just didn't really have the courage to come forward, or you weren't giving them sort of the maybe like hints that they kind of needed to buck up and just make the offer. But now they feel sort of ready for it. They've come to a space where they're able to sort of like accept that they have these romantic feelings, and therefore like they know kind of what they want now. So that's nice. The third week of May. Expect a love offer. And then in the fourth week of May, we have the Eight of Cups, which I get a real, like, I know it's a water card, like it's water signs, but I've always gotten a real like Sag kind of vibe from it, because it's very much about like sort of a pilgrimage in a sense. It's very much about like exploration of the self and of your own feelings. It's sort of like going off, and it's like a journey, like an inner journey. Like if you've ever read The Alchemist, that's a very like Eight of Cups heavy sort of like book. Like just going inwards and really exploring and finding out what you want. And it's sort of going it alone. Like, I don't think it's too connected with this Knight of Cups here. Maybe you, if that is a love offer, maybe you are or you aren't interested. You can be in a connection and be in this Eight of Cups energy. It's just not, it's like you're focused just on this journey, right? Like this is here, but this is also here, and this is where your focus is. You're pulling focus to your own inner evolution, because now you feel stable in the material world. You're able to focus on this sort of inner evolution and what you want emotionally from life, right? Yeah, okay. And then for your advice, we got Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. So this is really what is drawing in these pentacles and these opportunities to you. This could also indicate some form of travel, like with the World and this here. Like it could be some form of like traveling for work, for this kind of like financial opportunity, financial gain. That would be cool. That's probably it for somebody. And you are drawing that in by staying in this high vibration, right? And then we got Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Which is just to say, even though you are sort of going on this journey like alone, like you're never really alone. You're supported through, like the whole world is sort of supporting you. We're all connected, right? Animals, nature, like all of this. And that's what's supporting you with this material gain so that you can do this, so that you can focus on this. It's brought in through your connection to the all that is, right? I don't know, for some reason I really want to pull another card for you. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to pull a card. Can I get the card for Sagittarius? What's going on for Sagittarius at the end of the month? The end of May. Sagittarius. Actually, I'm going to pull something in regards to this love connection because it's still a little bit foggy in regards to like what's going on here. So can you clarify what's going on in Sagittarius' love life in the month of May? Sagittarius' love life in the month of May. Yeah, okay. So we got the Two of Swords, the Hangman, and Justice. Which what I'm getting from this is very much this sort of like unrequited love energy. And it can be reversed either way. I'm just going to say it's somebody coming towards you. So whoever this person is, they have been in love with you for a while, but they had this sort of like anxiety about it. Like they were really unsure of what to do. Like it seemed like they were at a crossroads and they could choose one direction or the other direction and they didn't know what was best. Like it was very unclear for them. So they were very much in this hangman sort of energy of like just being stuck at that crossroads, blindfolded, two swords in hand, not sure what the hell they're doing with those swords. They're really unsure of it. But now that they recognize these romantic feelings here, like justice is being served here. So maybe you had a connection before and it sort of like fizzled out, or things never really got off the ground, something like that. Justice is being done. This is a divinely orchestrated kind of thing. So they're coming out of this hangman energy in order to bring forward this cup for you, this cup of love. Yeah. Let's see what, oh, there's not, yeah, there's nothing else in there. Okay, yeah. So I guess it's the same kind of message. Just kind of reinforces the fact that this has been like somebody who has been watching you for a while, somebody who has had feelings for you for a while, but just was unsure of it, or was unsure of how they could approach you because you seem so kind of intimidating. You're intimidating because you're so like worldly. Even if you don't travel a lot, or you are kind of, yeah, I don't know, Sagittarius just always has this energy of like just wisdom, even though they're goofy as hell. I could say this as a Sag rising. Goofy as hell, but still very wise and have such a broad perspective of the world. And because you're also like obviously quite spiritual and like you've worked on this stuff and you feel a very deep connection to the earth, you're sort of intimidating. This person's very intimidated. But they're kind of coming out of that now. They got it. They know what they want. They feel a bit more secure in heading towards you now. And I think you feel a bit more secure in maybe accepting this because your material world is sort of taken care of, as long as they give you this sort of freedom that you need to like explore, right? Gotta find that balance between like commitment and freedom. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that this resonated. If it did, I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below, and hopefully I will see you around. Bye.